I got the quivers down my backbone. I got the quivers down my thigh bone, shaking all over. Do-do-doon-doon-doon. Anyways, this is a documentary on Canadian music from the 1960s, and it's called Shaking All Over. It was recorded by Guess Who early on, and it's a good documentary. I'm glad there's a documentary out there that does show some groups that you don't normally hear about. The only drawback to it is they interview a lot of people from, this came out in 2005 roughly, and they interview a lot of Canadian people from that time, 2005. I'd rather have seen longer interviews with the actual people that made the music. And they also show some live footage of bands at 2005 doing songs from the 60s. They should have had more of the actual bands showing the music, because they did have some video, but they cut it off and showed. But anyways, here's some of the bands that were covered, and these are in my collection. And I'm going to start off with the Ugly Ducklings. That's definitely my favorite of the bunch. And I've seen them twice in my high school. And then we have some Bruce Cockburn. This is an early album by him. He started in the 1960s, and they cover a lot of this in the documentary. And Kensington Market has some great songs. And I saw them at the Toronto Pop Festival. There was only two guys left, and it was the two main singers, so they had broken up by that time. And then we go to the Poppers. This had Skip Prokop in it. And that's a great album. Absolutely. I listened to that album to death. To death. I love it to death. And went on to form, Skip Prokop went on to form, look, I still got shrink wrap on this, Lighthouse. And I've seen Lighthouse 3 times. And they always put on the show with the big horn section and everything. And Steppenwolf started in Toronto as the Sparrow. And then went on, of course, to Born to be Wild. And then we have some Leonard Cohen, his first album, Songs of Leonard Cohen. And Buffy Sainte-Marie. This is a best of Buffy Sainte-Marie. And Murray McLaughlin, who started in the late 60s. This album's from the 70s, but and sort of a Canadian folk institution. I seen him once live. He was always good, and that's his songs. I got a best of somewhere here. And of course we have Gordon Lightfoot. This is all early stuff by Gordon, a 2 CD. And the Guess Who started in the 60s, of course. And this is a best of the Guess Who. So that's a real brief. Of course we have Neil Young and Joni Mitchell and the people that went south in the band, but covering people that really stayed, well, most of them stayed in Canada.